And for Mama, it is 38 degrees.
Stay covered up, Mom.
That's right. We've got a little bit of rain still hanging around the Evansville Metro. We're looking at the back edge, though, pushing through the Evansville area within the next hour. So the rain coming to an end, and we might see a few flakes of snow. We have seen a few flakes of snow in parts of the tri-state on the back edge of this. And let's put that into motion. You can see as we move to the east, we've got movement. At least we got it getting out of here over the next couple of hours. You can see on Storm Tracker, look at all that rain down to the south. If you're traveling to Nashville, you are going to be getting wet and plenty. I mean, they got the heavier rain down to the south. All right, it's Home Team Friday Showdown. Of course, the playoffs in Indiana. Central and Memorial tackling, or going at it anyway, at Central Stadium, and it's going to be below freezing, it looks like, to start the game. Yeah, with a pretty good wind to start, too. The wind is going to settle down some, but, I mean, it's bundle up. You know, we like cooler weather for football games, I think. The football players do. Now you're getting to the point where it's just cold.
That's just plain cold, and if you're not out there running around on the field like the football players. Yeah.
Well, because it's going to clear out tonight. Once that temperature, I mean, once the sky clears out, it's really going to see a temperature drop when the sun goes down. So, yeah, kind of a rough thing. Temperatures falling from the 40s down into the 30s, so plenty of wind from the north at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Just keeping you awake out there. You are not going to fall asleep in this kind of weather.
That's exactly right, and I won't be walking in it either.
No, I wouldn't do that.
This will be treadmill day, right, for sure. Well, coming up tomorrow on ABC 25, Local Lifestyles, big show for you. I pay a visit to Dr. Jimmy Yu's office, U-Vet in Newburgh. He really cares about your pet's health. We're going to talk to him about his services. And speaking of pets, you can adopt one from the group Forever Home. We will tell you how that's done. American Senior Community Cypress Grove shares its program aimed at veterans called VA Contract Program. Christmas comes to beautiful Ferdinand, Indiana, and they're going to celebrate in a unique way, very European. A Christkindl market is coming.
Really?
Yeah, and Toys to Treasure on Burkhardt is ready to help you with your holiday shopping with unique and fabulous gifts for your kids and your whole family, as a matter of fact. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay warm, friends.
Hey, testing 1 2 3 4. Greg Martin. Testing 1 2 3 4. Cool, sounds great.
The most watched, the most trusted. Eyewitness News, everywhere you are. Time now for your forecast first on Eyewitness News, the CW7.
It is straight up 12 o'clock as we head into, there we go, Head into this Thursday afternoon, a little bit of rain out there, and on the back edge of this rain, we have seen a few flakes of snow, so just a heads up there. It's not going to amount to much of anything, but it's a cold rain that's falling right now, that's for sure. Temperature right now is 38 degrees here in Evansville, and we're going to see that temperature continue to fall down through the 30s as we go through the afternoon, on our way down to a low tonight in the 20s. But the rain's going to come to an end over the next couple of hours. Good riddance to it. I'll be back to tell you more about what's in store for the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Eyewitness News at noon starts now.
Live from the CW7 studio, this is Eyewitness News at noon.
Thanks for joining us here today at noon. I'm Jake Boswell in for Gretchen Ross. We begin this afternoon with a news story out of Davis County, a developing story, as a matter of fact, out of Owensboro. Last night, police responded to shots fired in the 2000 block of Westview Drive, where they say a home was shot at twice. This home was occupied at the time, but they say right now no one was hurt. It's an ongoing investigation right now in Owensboro, just off of Christie Place near Westview Drive. If you have any information on this case, you're being asked to contact police this afternoon. Staying in Kentucky, Democrat Andy Beshear is again claiming victory in the Kentucky governor's race, focusing on his transition. But Republican incumbent Matt Bevin still has not conceded. From your local election headquarters this Thursday afternoon, Governor Bevin has actually now officially requested a recanvass of this vote and announced that his campaign is looking into what he called irregularities. A recanvass is a reprint of the receipts from the voting machines that were tallied on the Tuesday of Election Day, and then they'll be rechecked. Bevin claims there were, in his words, significant irregularities during Tuesday's election.
The specifics of which we're in the process of getting affidavits and other information that will help us to get a better understanding of what did or did not happen. Those will be forthcoming in the days ahead.
Bevin has not given any specifics as to what irregularities he's seen. There's no mandatory recount law in Kentucky. It would be up to Bevin's campaign to request one from a judge, a recount different than a recanvass. The recanvass that has been requested is scheduled for next Thursday. The impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump will soon go public. The first witness expected to testify openly is acting U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Bill Taylor. This is as Democrats release more transcripts from closed-door depositions, and the president fired back. Karina Marshall has more.
West Point grad and Vietnam veteran Bill Taylor, the acting U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, will be the first to testify publicly in the impeachment inquiry, telling millions of people what he told investigators, that the president withheld hundreds of millions of dollars in military aid to the U.S. ally. His transcript released Wednesday reveals he grew so concerned over the issue he sent a rare cable to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, but received no response.
Most important facts are largely not contested.
During a rally in Louisiana overnight, President Trump fired back.
Democrats must be accountable for their hoaxes and for their crimes. Really, I mean, do you believe what's going on in Washington with these do-nothing, somewhat evil, and in some cases very evil people?
Also testifying next week, former Ukrainian ambassador Marie Yovanovitch. One Republican says none of the evidence points to corruption.
There are perfectly appropriate quid pro quos, and there are inappropriate quid pro quos.
This morning, there are new details about the president's actions just as the Ukraine story first broke. Multiple sources tell ABC News that the president wanted Attorney General William Barr to hold a news conference, saying that Trump didn't break any laws regarding that July call with Ukraine's president. But Barr reportedly declined.
Now, the White House, while dismissing the hearings, is raising their defense, adding two longtime Trump allies to their team to come up with a better strategy of pushing back. Well, in Hancock County, officials are preparing for the start of alcohol sales after voters approved it in a Tuesday vote. Judge Executive Johnny Roberts Jr. says they're working on a county ordinance to regulate sales. Hancock County, by the way, just coming in with the Secretary of State's office as the highest voter turnout we've seen here in the tri-state, a little over 52%. This may be a reason why. Right now, the officials plan to meet with state officials locally and are reviewing other alcohol sales rules in other counties for guidance. 61% of Hancock County voters approve sales for the entire county, and Judge Executive Roberts also says the fiscal court must approve any regulations within the next 60 days before alcohol sale applications can be accepted. It was a packed house last night at Evansville Central Library to hear from candidates for the library's next CEO and director. The search comes within the same year as library programming created some controversy in the Evansville community. Candidates answered questions about their qualifications to lead the Evansville Public Library, and a big topic of discussion, though not mentioned by name, was the controversial Drag Queen Story Hour. The board says it's looking for connection with the community.
We're looking for a library director who can meld with our community, understand the community, see the needs of the community, see the tools and the resources we have available to us, and make a library that works for everybody.
How do you make sure that...
All three candidates will interview with the board at some point this afternoon. Moving over to Illinois now, some drivers who had their license suspended may soon get them back. A new proposal would allow people who have suspended licenses due to outstanding fees to get them reinstated. The bill would change a law that allows a driver's license to be suspended if the driver didn't pay a fine. Those with outstanding fees would still have to pay those fines.
A driver's license suspension should reflect a person's driving behavior and their driving history. And in this particular case, unpaid parking tickets do not reflect a person's driving behavior or their driving history.
The bill has support from both sides of the aisle. If the governor decides to sign it, it will become law in July of 2020. Something that's happening today, the state superintendent of public instruction, Dr. Jennifer McCormick, has made a stop in the tri-state. Oakland City University has hosted Learn and Lead. It's a program designed for teachers and prospective educators. The goal of the event is to offer research-based learning opportunities. Dr. McCormick is focusing on the topic, why education matters. That event just wrapping up in Oakland City. The Evansville-Vandenberg School Corporation will be closed Tuesday, November 19th. So listen up, grandparents and parents. Educators are heading to Indianapolis that day to attend the Red for Ed Action Day. Red for Ed Day is organized by the Indiana State Teachers Association. It will advocate for teacher pay, concerns over iLearn scores, and other teacher issues. The day will be made up by using the virtual learning option, and the district says that the teachers will assign the work before the 19th comes. Coming up next here on Eyewitness News at noon, one shipping company has released its shipping dates for the holiday season, so you may want to get some notes out so you can know whenever you can ship things to your relatives. That's coming up next here at noon on the CW7 for this holiday season.
watching Eyewitness News at noon on the CW7 with Jake Boswell and meteorologist Ron Rode.
After decades of requests, some Bosse High School students will be able to get to school in a safer manner. A pedestrian bridge is going to be built over Highway 41. The announcement came from Evansville Mayor Lloyd Winnecke and the Indiana Department of Transportation. The mayor says the state will soon begin work on short-term solutions to make the area safer, like rephasing the stoplights and installing a J-turn before the bridge is built.
Generations of people before us have been talking to the state and other local elected officials about the need for an improved pedestrian crossing at US 41 in Washington. So today's announcement really is a result of continued discussions.
The project will cost $5 million. The city plans to pick up 20% of that cost, about $1 million. It'll be about 2 years before NDOT crews can begin work on the bridge. The new section of Waterworks Road was originally scheduled to open today, but this afternoon you won't be able to be on it. The Water and Sewer Utility says that's now been pushed back to next Tuesday. The new stretch of road will intersect with Veterans Memorial Parkway just south of the current intersection. The current portion of Waterworks Road near the wastewater treatment plant will then close to traffic. In those days, our lives are completely intertwined with the internet. Basically, these days, that's happening. From Google to Facebook and Amazon, a lot of your personal info is being turned over, sometimes stolen. But there are some steps you can take to keep your info more secure. And Trevor Alt gives us a look at that this afternoon.
We all know that we're spending hours upon hours looking at our phones and computers, but there's also concern that the sites we're visiting are looking too closely into us. The most recent data compiled by Consumer Reports finds that 70% of Americans lack confidence their personal data is private.
There's reason to be concerned, but I think the important thing for people to understand is it isn't a lost cause. There isn't nothing you can do.
So what steps can you take to protect both your privacy and security? For starters, you should try out what's called two-factor authentication. It sounds high-tech, but it's simple in practice, and you can find it in the security settings of places like your Google account. What it does is adds one extra step to your sign-in process, like pinging your phone to make sure that the person signing in as you really is you.
The idea is that if your password falls into the wrong hands, you're setting up an extra barrier that prevents the bad guys from getting access.
How about guarding your privacy from companies hungry for your personal habits? Facebook has a facial recognition system that can pick you out in photos you might not be aware of. But in the privacy filters, you can turn that off. And if you have an Amazon Echo, the company does have recordings of what you ask Alexa, but with a quick trip to the settings, you can allow yourself to delete those files.
You can say, Alexa, delete what I just said, or Alexa, delete everything I said today.
Maybe you're looking to be even more cautious and want to limit the data you're sending out altogether. There are alternatives at the ready. For your internet searches, try DuckDuckGo, which doesn't collect any information from its users. And for texting, apps like Signal offer end-to-end encryption and even let you have messages delete from your phone and the person you're messaging. Trevor Alt, ABC News, New York.
Happening today, officials are going to lay out plans for the kickoff of the holiday season in Evansville. The 2019 Evansville Christmas on North Main Parade is set for Sunday, November 24th at 2:30 p.m. Organizers are once again teaming up with Ritzy's Fantasy of Lights to extend the route all the way to Garvin Park. Pre-parade activities will include Santa's Workshop at Swerka. There they'll have entertainment like arts and crafts and hot chocolate. More details are expected during a news conference later on today. And the Christmas season getting here real soon. Stick to TriStateHomepage.com to try to help make your schedules for you and your family to celebrate around the Tri-State. Target is kicking off its holiday sales this weekend. Company announced what it called Holiday Deals in an ad released yesterday. The retailer is holding its Black Friday preview sale this Friday and Saturday. Officials say the sale will offer 4 times more deals than it did last year. The official Black Friday sales will be up for grabs online on Thanksgiving morning. Target says its physical stores will open at 5 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. They'll stay open until 1 a.m. Friday before reopening again on Black Friday at 7 a.m. And speaking of the holidays, this is a big story. The U.S. Postal Service has already released its ship-by dates for this year. Some ground shipping deadlines for overseas military destinations have actually already passed. The deadline for first-class mail and packages to reach who you want them to is December 20th for regular mail to arrive by Christmas. Priority mail's deadline for Christmas is December 21st. And for procrastinators, the Priority Mail Express to be there on Christmas is December 23rd, but that is going to cost you a lot of money. Check USPS.gov for a full list of those shipping deadlines. Ron, we can't forget Thanksgiving, but you got to make sure you know these shipping dates.
I'm never forgetting Thanksgiving. That's the best holiday of all time. I take one small dish into my brother's place or my sister's place, and I've got a feast waiting for me. That's a great deal. That's a great holiday. Christmas, I just lose a lot of money. That's what I do. Just a lot of money. That's not good. Anyways, I'm Mark Camera. It's not good to see all this rain, but it's going to be tapering off this afternoon, but it's going to be getting colder. Let you know more about that coming up.
Get the highest rated local weather app from the App Store today. Now, from your weather authority, meteorologist Ron Rhodes.
Thursdays have not been good of late. Last Thursday, of course, Halloween. It was pretty much the same setup we've got right now. We had a cold rain in the morning. The rain tapered off, and as it did around the middle of the day, we saw some flakes of snow flying around. Well, that's the case today. And, of course, the wind was wicked last Thursday. Now, it's bad enough today. Not quite as bad, though, as what we had last Thursday. But still, I mean, the temperature falling like it did last week throughout the day. And we've already dropped down into the 30s after starting the day in the 40s. So, wow. Thursdays, hopefully next Thursday. Next Thursday doesn't look quite as bad, but I tell you what, next Tuesday, we probably won't thaw out. The whole day is going to be spent below freezing. That's how much colder it's going to get. That'll be next week. We'll worry about that. It's going to get cold enough tonight. We're going to drop down to the 20s. Well, here's the same setup we've seen all day long. You're noticing the raindrops and who knows, maybe even a little bit of wet snow on the lens right there from iMart. That's our camera there downtown on top of the Fifth Third Bank building, looking out toward the west, or at least trying to look out toward the west. But we've had some reports of a few flakes of snow out there with the rain. 39 degrees in Jasper, 39 in Santa Claus, 36 in Princeton. Now, we're seeing the colder air come in from the northwest, and the temperatures continue to drop, not fast, but they're dropping. 35 in Fairfield, 36 degrees in Carmi, and then you've got still some 40s hanging on at Owensboro, 41, 42 Calhoun, and also Madisonville. But these temperatures will be dropping soon enough. So it's the southeast corner that's still hanging on to the 40s for a little while longer. And we're all going to drop down to around the freezing mark by the end of the day. And then once the sky clears out, that temperature, and the sun's going down before 5 o'clock, I mean, that temperature is really going to take the plunge. So it's going to be a cold night tonight. It's going to be a cold night for Football Friday tomorrow, too. 31 degrees is what the feels like temperature is in Oakland City. Even colder west of the Wabash with those winds north at 10 to 20. 27 the feels like temperature in Allendale, 27 Carmine, 28 Fairfield. We've got a below freezing wind chill here in Evansville, 30, 31 Hawesville, 31 also the feels like temperature in Henderson as we head into this Thursday afternoon. Pretty much the last line of rain cutting through the Evansville metro and now south of the Jasper area, but you can see northern Spencer County, also Perry County catching a little bit of rain. We might see a few drops on the other side, but not showing up on radar. Too light to be detected there. Heavier rain down to the south, but it's really starting to break up quite a bit, and good riddance to it. We had a third of an inch of rain going into today, and we have seen about a third of an inch since the day started, so about 2/3 of an inch really over the past 3 days. You know, we had 15/100ths of an inch a couple of days ago, and then yesterday not much more than that, 18/100ths. Today so far 35/100. So here's what it looks like storm tracker wise. Heavier rain again down to the south, but the back line of rain moving through, and you saw right on the back edge of that, with that colder air, we've got a little bit of snow mixing in with the rain. Clouds already starting to break up though in St. Louis, and we should see that also as we head into tomorrow. Hey, as far as Home Team Friday is concerned, check it out, Bloomington South at Castle, and this is going to be tomorrow night, but 30 degrees at game time. I mean, the high tomorrow is going to be in the upper 30s. We're not going to get out of the 30s. And then also 32 degrees, Southridge at Heritage Hills, and Davis County's going out Henderson County again. 29 degrees when that game kicks off, and that'll be at 7 o'clock. Well, here's what it looks like today. Temperatures falling through the 30s, rain coming to an end. We are going to be seeing a few flakes out there this afternoon, but the rain's going to be ending fairly quickly. Plenty of wind, too, from the north at around 10 to 20 miles an hour. And over the next 7 days, temperatures are going to be cooling off quite a bit. Look at that. The low tonight, 23 degrees as we have the sky clearing on out. And for our Friday, 39 degrees for a high. A lot of sunshine out there, but not much warmth to be had with that sun. 24 for low. So we've got a couple of hard freezes headed our way. The wind is going to settle down later on tonight, though. We've got that working in our favor. And the temperatures do warm up over the weekend. 48 on Saturday, not bad. But keep in mind, the average high is 60, so well off the average there. And you can see 58 degrees for our Sunday for a high. So it is going to be a little bit warmer on Sunday. In fact, Sunday really looks like the best day of the week from here on out if you can stand the wind, but at least it'll be a warm wind. And then we get another shot of cold air, and brutally cold this time, as we see the temperature drop down to 19 degrees for a morning low on Tuesday. And we do have a chance for perhaps a little accumulating snow. A little too early to say, but snow showers possible as we head into Monday night, it looks like, and early Tuesday morning before that winds down. And then look at this, a morning low of 15 degrees on Wednesday. So we're going to have back-to-back mornings to start next week, Jake, that are going to be in the teens. And in the next couple of
if we have
mornings,
wind chill, it could be even lower as far as the feels like, I guess.
And we've got a lot of wind next week. I mean, it is really going to feel like the heart or the depth of winter, you say that, the middle of winter. I mean, it's going to be like middle of January, and it's still in early November. Wow. That is not something I want to see.
Everybody's going to be hunkered down. You're going to be the most hunkered down. You're going to be hiding.
I might take the week off. I think this is time for a good trip to Florida. What do you think?
Yeah, to Bermuda.
Bermuda, maybe even go farther south. To tell you the truth, it's going to be getting chilly in Florida next week, too. That cold air is really going to surge pretty far south.
Wow. Okay, so everybody's going to be dealing with that. Still ahead, we'll introduce you to our pet of the day here at noon.